Over McNeil to the left. Now, Duhon in motion right. All alone is Bob Tucker. Tucker out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
Well, hello! Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below, maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me, really. Anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, it starts. The bodies are hitting the floor. They're starting to leave left and right. It feels weird now. It really feels weird. I did my first video on this channel. It was last March 20th, 2021. So it's almost a year. Not quite, almost a year. This is my 326th video I've done. And it's been almost a year. So you figure I got like another 17 days before it's actually officially a year. So you figure I'm going to do about 340 videos in a year. Pretty, close to one a day. I mean, I was on vacation, missed a couple weeks. It is what it is. But it just feels weird because it's almost a year. I'm a 326 video. My first video I ever did on this channel was Giants sign Kyle Rudolph. I can't say I remember it just like it was yesterday, but I remember putting that one out. I'm like, man, it's a good one. It's a good way to start your channel off. Bringing in Kyle Rudolph, some good, veteran leadership. You got Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph, good in the red zone. Certainly going to help Daniel Jones out. I'm sure we'll get a few touchdowns out of him and all and everything. So I'm like, that's a good way to start your channel off. And here it is, almost a year later. My 326th video, almost 1 year to the day. Title of the video, the Giants released Kyle Rudolph. So they got rid of Kyle Rudolph and Devontae Booker. It's just a shame. I mean, because I like Booker, really, really, it was, because you hear this, like maybe trading Saquon, because if you trade Saquon, not that I'm jumping out of my boots to do that, but if you were to trade him, you'd save $7.2 million, and you should probably pick up a third-round pick at least. Listen to people, guys, scouts and stuff like that know a hell of a lot more than I do. I'm hearing like a third. One guy I was listening to today said if the team is antsy enough, they might even give out a second. Now, it could be a second next year or something or whatever, but you can figure maybe a second or at least a third for Saquon Barkley, but you'd save $7 million. But then it's like, who are you going to have as your running back? It's like, Devontae Booker would be perfect. He did very well for us last year, filling in when Saquon was hurt. He just did a very, under the circumstances, as absolutely pathetic as our offense was, Devontae Booker did a very nice job for us, and he's very reasonably priced, and he came in and did a very good job. Now, I think his salary was like a little over $3 million. There was $1 million dead cap hit, so he's getting $1 million just to go play somebody else, playing on some other team, which is good for him. So he's getting $1 million coming to him from the Giants. Some other team will sign him for hopefully a couple $1 million. So he won't be losing any money. He'll have to move. That's all. But the two moves will save the Giants around like $7 million. It's about Devontae Booker's like around $2 million, and Kyle Rudolph will save around like $5 million. So between the two, right, about $7 million we're saving. So we're off and running. Now, according to Spot Track, right, the Giants are still about $5.8 million over the salary cap. All right, so this is just the beginning. We got a long way to go. All right, and you figure you got a long way to go. Free agency starts, I think it's the 16th. So today is the 3rd, so we got less than 2 weeks free agency starts. So Shane's got to he's got to start wheeling and dealing. So if he's going to get rid of or trade Saquon or trade maybe James Bradbury or somebody like that. He's got to get moving. So it's a shame, I said, with Booker. He did such a great job last year. But, Shane and Dable, it's like with none of these guys. They have no ties with, like, none of these guys. Same thing with, like, Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph, one thing, they said, when he gets his paws on the ball, he pulls it in. He did a very good job of catching balls last year. Of course, he didn't really reach the end zone too much, but, it was good leadership. And all and everything, it just, it is what it is. Unfortunately, this is the business side of football, and unfortunately, guys come and go all the time. Now, so Shane, he signed running back Antonio Williams to a reserves future contract on January 27th. So, I don't know if he's going to be bringing him up. So I don't know, Gary Brightwell, Antonio Williams, and Saquon Barkley. That I don't, if we get rid of Saquon Barkley, I couldn't imagine who we're going to wind up having. So you could pretty much, so this is just the beginning. So after this, you can pretty much kind of kiss James Bradbury goodbye. I said, if we can trade him, maybe get a fourth rounder for him. But whoever's going to trade for him is going to have, you have to pay him some money. So whoever's going to want to pay him for him is going to have to, have some, cap money to pay him. Now, he's $21.8 million toward the salary cap this year. 9.8 dead cap money. So if we let him go, all right, we're saving $12 million. Almost $10 million, just thrown down, pretty much down the toilet. Thanks, Gettleman. But you're saving $12 million. So if you get rid of Bradbury and, you get Rudolph and Booker gone, that's almost $20 million, right? If he's trying to get like $40 million, we were 12 over the cap. So if he's trying to get 40, he might have to get rid of like $52 million just to be at the $40 million mark. So he's got a ways to go. I said you could probably kiss Blake Martinez goodbye. All right. He's a $14 million cap hit. Well worth it, but, we're in cap hell. Once again, thanks, Calvin. He's $5.5 million dead cap money. All right. So if you let Blake Martinez go, unless, once again, maybe you can trade him. He's still a tackling machine. The only thing is he's coming off of surgery. You're not quite sure how, well he's going to be. He should be almost 100%, but, it's one of those things you just don't know. But, so if he can't trade Blake Martinez, he's going to have to let him go, and that'll be $8.5 million we wind up saving. All right. Riley, we got two punters on the roster. Riley Dixon's got to be gone. You get rid of him. There's $2.8 million. He did not have a very good year last year. There's punters aplenty out there. I'm not saying they're all stars or Hall of Famers or nothing, but there's plenty of punters out there. And it won't cost anywhere near as much as Riley Dixon costed us, and he said he did not have a banner year last year. So I said we want to get rid of him. It'd be $2.8 million we'll be saving. If you get rid of Sterling Shepard, unfortunately, because he keeps getting hurt all the time, he's his $8 million dead cap hit, so that's not too good. But you'd wind up saving. He's $12.5 million toward the cap. Let him go, $8 million cap hit, so you'd be saving $4.5 million. Right? You can also, unfortunately, maybe let Caden Smith go. He's $2.5 million. Once again, there's plenty of guys out there you can get for like $1 million or so. Obviously, unfortunately, we might draft somebody in the third or fourth round who might only cost us $1 million, who might be as good as Caden Smith. That's always a possibility. But I said, if you let Caden Smith go, there's $2.5 million. You let Oshane Ximines go, there's $1 million you save. You let Darius Slayton go, there's $2.5 million. If you let, unfortunately, I'd hate to see this, but if you let Julian Love go, there's $2.5 million you'd save. If you let Nick Gates go, which is quite possible because you have no idea what's going on with his leg, there's $2.1 million. All right. So now basically, I said you let go of Rudolph, you let go of Booker. If you let Bradbury go, you let Martinez go. All right. You let Dixon go, Shepard, Smith, Ximines, Slayton, Love, and Gates go. There's $45.4 million. Almost what Shane wants. I mean, as I said, we were like 12 over. If he wants $40 million, I guess to spend money to spend, there's $52 million he's got to get rid of. So there's 45 right there. If you were to trade Saquon Barkley, all right, maybe get a third return, there's another $7.2 million. So the 45, right, with these guys here I initially talked about that you'd be saving, plus the 7 from Saquon, there's $52 million. So that would take up the $12 million that we were over the cap, and that would give us a surplus. We'd have $40 million. So you're going to need 15, 16, 17, whatever, just to sign. I mean, I think our two first round picks are going to be like $11 million, I think it is, between the two of them combined, because they're such high picks. Unless we trade back, that would take, that might bring it down a little bit. But it's not, you're going to need 15, 16, 17 just to sign your rookie class. So if we have a surplus of 40, you need 17 just to sign your rookies. That gives you $23 million. That's not a lot of money, especially going into the season. You can maybe get a couple, maybe $3-4 million guy here, $3-4 million guy there, and then you just got a bunch of minimum contract guys pretty much that you can wind up signing. There's plenty of other guys on the roster he can get rid of. I mean, there's like Trent Harris and Wes Martin, Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, T.J. Brunson, Tay Crowder, Ben Bredesen, Jamie Gillen, our other punter, Colin Johnson. You can let go of those guys. Those guys all save you about like $800,000-$900,000 a pop, which is great. That means there's like 8, 9, 10 guys you can let go. There's another 7, 8, 9 million you save, which is fantastic. The only problem is these guys here, they're all at the minimum. So if you let Carter Coughlin go, okay, then you have another roster spot you got to fill. So you're going to let Carter Coughlin go, save $800,000. Well, now you got to go out and get somebody and bring somebody in for $800,000. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a wash. The only thing is that if he lets these guys I'm saying like Trent Harris, he has no ties to him. Wes Martin, Ben Bredesen and Wes Martin, you only got so many offensive linemen, so you might hold off on them. But Tay Crowder, Carter Coughlin, Jamie Gillen, Colin Johnson, Cam Brown, he might let these guys go and maybe bring in his own guys, because his stamp of approval, whatever, is on his team. The more of his own guys he brings in, the more comfortable he'll feel. Instead of like, 75% of my roster is from guys from the other guy. I don't want these guys. So he might let these guys go, but he's not really saving any money, because it's like you get rid of this guy, but you have to bring somebody in just to take his place. So it's no big save of money there. But he might let him go because he has no ties to any of these guys. Now, you're not really going to be saving any money. All it's pretty much doing is just changing players. Now, it's just the beginning. More is sure to come. I think his free agency starts, I think it's the 16th. All right, so we got less than 2 weeks. Now, the salary cap in 2022, right, obviously this year is $208 million. Right. Now, there's going to be a change. Obviously in 2023, the salary cap is going to go up to about what I was saying on Spot Track. Right. They might have it going up to about 218. Regardless, almost guaranteed it's going to go up. All right. But with that on Spot Track was about 218. So it's going to go up probably at least $10 million. All right, which is cool. Now the Giants' active contracts. Which is this is nice. We're struggling this year, but next year there's a little ray of hope. Our active contracts for 2023 is we only have $86.5 million on the books, which is great. So the Giants, with their active contracts as of right now for 2023, they have $131.5 million worth of cap space for next year. $131 million. Pretty impressive, right? But they only have 30 guys under contract. So, I mean, there's at least, 20-something odd more guys they're going to have to bring in. But, I mean, if you brought in 25 other guys, if you brought them all, 25 guys in for the minimum, say like $1 million a piece, that's $25 million. If you got 131 and you bring in a bunch of guys for 25, you still got $106 million. So, I mean, you can go out and you can buy some groceries next year. Absolutely guaranteed. So the top, and the other thing is only the top 51 guys, the top 51 salaries count toward the salary cap. All right, so it's not like you keep bringing more and more guys in. The salary cap keeps taking bigger and bigger hits. No, I mean, because the top 51 salaries, that goes toward the salary cap. And that's pretty much about it, all right? So the Giants have at least another 20-something more guys that they're going to have to, period, to fill out their roster. The one thing is that doesn't include, I mean, obviously Saquon Barkley's gone. That doesn't include Daniel Jones, so we're going to need to get a quarterback. But with these 4 moves coming up here, all right, the Giants can save themselves about another $50 million. 4 moves. So the Giants next year, after these 4 moves, which would be quite possible, and this is also taking into account that, because we got Sterling Shepard on the books for next year, all right, I'm taking into account that we're getting rid of him this year, all right, so he's not even going to be on the books next year, all right, so if Sterling Shepard's not even on the books next year, all right, we got Leonard Williams next year, all right, his salary is $26.3 million, only an $8.3 million dead cap hit, so we let him go, we save $18 million. Kenny Golladay, he's on the books for $21.4 million. 10.2 dead cap hit, but you let him go, there's $11.2 million you're saving. Adoree Jackson, he's on the books for $16.5 million. All right. Only $4.5 million dead cap hit. So if you let him go, unless you can trade these guys, maybe you can trade Adoree Jackson, maybe or this next guy coming up, maybe you can trade him, get something in return for him. I don't think you're gonna be able to trade Leonard Williams with a big ass contract. But anyway, you let Adoree Jackson go, all right? You'll be saving $12 million. Then guy number 4, all right, maybe you can trade him. We'll see. But Logan Ryan's on the books for $12.2 million. Only $3 million dead cap hit. Let him go, you save $9.2 million. So with these guys, these 4 guys, it's about $50.4 million. Just those 4 guys. All right. And after this, you let these guys go. And if Sterling Shepard's not there, okay, the Giants will have close to probably about $195 million in salary cap. For next year. Except they don't have a quarterback. But with all these moves, you let Sterling Shepard go, Williams, Golladay, Jackson, and Ryan go. You only have 1 guy on the roster who's making over $10 million. 1 guy, Andrew Thomas. So that's pretty darn special. I said, of course, you do not have a quarterback. All right, so they're going to have to, But if there's a big, I don't know. If Aaron Rodgers leaves the Packers, just saying. Russell Wilson, he's still floating around out there. One of these big name quarterbacks out there will have the money, all right, to, we have the draft capital too, but but we'll have the money. We can bring in some guys. Now, I don't know if Shane's going to be going hog wild crazy like what Gettleman did, bringing Solder in for $16.5 million and signing Kenny Golladay for $18 million, and we got Leonard Williams for $26 million, and Bradbury's like 21.8 this year, and so I don't know if he's going to be going hog wild crazy like that, but we're going to have close to like $195 million next year for salary cap. So, you know, we're struggling this year, but I mean, if we can get some good quality draft picks this year, and we're not going to be winning the Super Bowl this year, right? So if we're picking in, say, the top 15 to 20 again, we might have another few good picks next year. Get the good picks this year and the good picks next year. Combine that, okay, and we have like $195 million to spend in salary. We can certainly do some damage with that. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants.